Welcome back to the Refined Society podcast. We're going to be giving you fresh perspective on wealth. My name is Jonathan.
And my name is Ruben.
You know, I want to go into something that I think every single entrepreneur, every single person, if you're not an entrepreneur and wanting to start in entrepreneurship, I think this is something that we all need to understand. Right now, just to give you guys some context, I'm actually reading a book called The Power to Change by Craig Rochelle. I highly encourage you guys to really read this book and really take some action on this book.
There possibly might be a link in the bio, okay?
Maybe
Okay.
not. But really, this book, I mean, Craig Rochelle, he's a really, really well-known speaker. He's a really, really great leader. I actually listen to his podcast like every single week on how to grow in my leadership. And so I highly encourage you guys to listen, and that'll be someone I highly recommend you to listen, especially as a business owner. But he made this book called The Power to Change, Making Habits That Matter. Because, I mean, for me, you're probably not the same, but I want to make sure every single thing I do has a purpose. It might be, it's like, oh, that's a little bit weird. But I believe, I'm not just here just to be lazy or to just sit around and do nothing. But I believe God has placed me here for a bigger purpose than just sitting around.
Just existing.
Yeah. And I want to ask you this question because this one challenged me. This one question that's in this book is, would you rather live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? This one challenged me so much. It challenged me so much because I didn't even realize that there is a pain of regret and there's a pain of discipline. I didn't even realize it until I saw that question.
You see, I feel like, me personally, I've had many moments where I have the pain of regret.
Yeah.
Because I didn't go all out on something I wanted to go all out on. Or I got discouraged. And that feeling, I hate having the question of, what if? It's kind of like that. It's like that Marvel series, right, on Disney Plus, right? Disney plug, okay? Not joking. The what ifs.
Yeah.
I think that if I rather live with the pain of discipline because I don't like it, but I know what the end holds.
Yeah.
Regret is, it's knowing that it's living with the pain of what could have been. Like
the possibility.
The possibilities. Like I know what this holds, and on this side I'm living out, man, what it could have held. And my thing is, I rather live on that side, but I think that many people live on that side.
Yeah.
Like they live on with the what ifs. The reason I actually got in a big fight when I was a senior in high school. I got in a big fight with my teacher because I was in a college class, right? But I wasn't gonna go to college. I was already on the mindset because I grew up with a lot of business owners. My families come from a line of business ownership. My parents, but not only that, just having family friends who have their own businesses. And just learning from their experiences, I thought that was more valuable for me. If you want to go to school, that's up to you. Go for it. I'm not going to stop you from that. But I just want to tell you that for me, I got in a fight because this teacher was telling me the only way to succeed is by getting a college degree.
I actually had almost the same situation just like that. It was with my economics teacher. And she just came from me out of nowhere. It was like just asking me what I wanted to be. And, well, context before this. One of my friends in computer science class, he was actually... That was back in like 2016. This kid, this was not like this kid was a sophomore, and he was already doing marketing for a business, which was his aunt's. Really? And that's whenever I was first introduced into like social media. I'm like, you're getting paid to run their Instagram? I found it so weird at that time because I mean at the time it
wasn't a thing. This was years ago, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck? Why are they paying you?
By the way, you look old. You look younger than what you really are, bro. This guy's old.
Yeah. And this kid was already making money,
really?
And he was a sophomore because his aunt had her own business. She could run social media, and he was getting paid because she was running it. And I'm like, this is so fast and it's so weird. It's like so easy too. At least at the time.
Now it's a lot more complicated. You gotta do more work.
And it got me interested of wanting to learn more, and I started learning just how this whole area works for businesses. And it came to my economics teacher. She had asked me, "Hey, what are you planning on doing with your life?" And I told her, "Hey, I want to be a pastor, and everything that I need to know, I can learn it outside of going to school. I can go to seminary, but my church offers, education on how to do this.
Yeah.
And she's all like, "Are you sure you want to do that? I mean, college will give you what you need." And I'm like, first, I don't need to spend money. They'll teach you what I need to know. And then every single, like, all the information that you need to know on how to do something is literally all. Like, you can rather pay a course. You don't have to pay as much as in college.
It's because many people don't value, like, if it's not from this institution, it's not valuable.
Yeah,
it's not bad. And I understand the from their side of, like, the worry, like, hey, bro, because they want you to succeed, they want the best for you, but then they just, like, they doubt that you might know something that they might not know, because they're limited to the information they know. And my thing is and that's one thing, like, many of the things I've learned were not through the traditional go to college, go to school. Many of them was like, hey, bro, I had questions, and I looked around and I found the answers. It's just a matter, and it was free. Most of the stuff comes from YouTube. Most of the stuff from paying from courses, from mentorship. But it's out there now. Back in the day, and they probably didn't have that. Like, that's what happened with my teacher too. Like, teachers, man, we love you, but you guys got to teach us to take risks.
Yeah, I think at least what we were taught is we have to love what comes with our work, which is the money. To where it's like, you need a good career so that you can sustain, and you have to love that. And what we've been able to experience is we can do what we love and have the harvest of, because we're planting seeds in our purpose and we're loving our purpose, we're receiving the consequence of being able to be supported with finances.
Yes.
And I think, like, nowadays you have that opportunity as a business owner, as maybe if you're getting into college, maybe you might need to redecide, or do you really need to?
Like, because those $50,000 you will be paying for that college degree, you can be using.
You know how much you can actually learn with $50,000 if you're gonna be paying that?
Dude, some courses only cost $1,000.
Yeah.
And you can learn so much more than you ever.
You can learn exactly what you need to learn to do what you love.
When I started my Christian clothing brand, I paid $40. And this was a monthly subscription. You can cancel anytime. Videos upon videos with PDFs and if everything of how these people run their business. I want to be. How are you making $5 million a month with your clothing brand? And you're in the same niche. You're a Christian clothing brand. You have 6 brands. You're based in the same state as I am. I can't drive all the way up to where you're at because you're a far drive. But hey, you made this available. Your experience is valuable to me. Sometimes I think that value is more. That experience can be a little bit more. Should be more important. You don't want to just be more book smart. You also want to be street smart. You know. You know that at the end of the day, you want to do this by the book, but you also want to learn from those who are in the field. Like, hey, I'm not. College is not going to teach me something that's in the field. If the professor's talking about business, you want to ask the professor, what businesses are you running? Because at the end of the day, I want to learn from someone who's in the field. And I think that's one thing that many people value more of the, like, because it's the tradition. We've been taught that growing up. And people have had success going that route. I'm not gonna knock on that. We need doctors, we need lawyers, we need people to go down that route. But we also need people who to go out the other route, right? To not go to college. You don't need to go to school for certain things. Some things nowadays you can learn just off of looking off YouTube. And I think that's why I would hate to live with the pain of regret, because now there's so many resources out there that you can use. Back in the day, yes, maybe I would take maybe the safer route and might not take as many risks. But right now, especially if you're young, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is the time for you to make as many mistakes. In fact, it's not even mistakes; it's learning lessons, right? Because at the end of the day, you find out what works and what doesn't work, and what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Where you find most passion for, where you don't.
Yeah,
I know I've seen so many people like go into an industry thinking that they would be passionate about it, they would love it, but then later on, as they're doing it, they're like, nah, this is not for me.
I was gonna go study to become a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, me, I was gonna be developing mobile applications. I ain't doing that anymore.
Not anymore. I found out I hated math. I hated doing things with putting things together. And I was like, you know what? And then that's when I discovered video production. And then I learned about finance. And then I was like, bro, I really fell in love with this. And then I started working in those fields. I told my teachers, hey, bro, you told me college is good. And then that I'm dumb, that I'm not going to college, but I'm just going to go work in the workforce already. And learn from those experts, learn from those people that are running their businesses, so that I can do that for myself. They make more than what anybody else that I'm looking at, like, than any job I'm trying to get.
I think when it comes back to the question of like, hey, would you rather live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? The pain of discipline has at least the blessing of you getting to your goal. The pain of regret, you're still in the same spot, probably even worse.
It's like there's people who are in their jobs and they hate their jobs, but they took it because they were there to please their parents, there to please their family members, their friends, their peers. And many times, and that's good. You and that's good because you've reached a milestone. But the problem is you're not happy.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say you're not gonna. Oh, it's always gonna be happy when you're doing what you're loving. There's gonna be times where you're gonna get tense and annoyed and frustrated.
I think it was like a movie or something that said it's like, well, this person wanted to be a chef, but he's working, I think, like as a pilot or something like that. Some other thing that he'd never wanted to do. And a guy comes up to him, is like, hey, how much are you making per year? Or how much are you making per check? I think it was like $1,500, something low, you know? And he's like, oh, so it only costs you $1,500 to go off your dream.
Oh.
This guy wanted to be a chef, and because of the money, he's all like now living his life in regret. He's making what he wants to make, or what's going to be sustainable for him, but he had to slack off that dream because of what he was taught, what he was learned, and what could sustain him, and not given the opportunity to be able to do what he is like fulfilled with in his life. And I think nowadays we have that opportunity now. Like there's so many tools, so much education that you can get without having to go with what you know right now. If you're listening to this right now, if you're watching this on YouTube or on TikTok, on Instagram, you have an opportunity to learn literally if you swipe up or you go to the next video. Because of that, because of what's there, you have the opportunity to change your life. You have the opportunity to change your circumstance. And I really encourage you guys, take that book, The Power to Change. You're going to start getting a different perspective of why you're here, what things have brought you to where you are right now. This book has challenged me in my own discipline because that knowledge is so convenient. Because of where my workspace is so convenient, I slack off, and that's why as I'm going through this, my discipline really needs to like now start getting disciplined. Whenever I got that question of would you rather live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret, I chose discipline right there. I was living in the pain of regret. It's like, man, I could have done that yesterday. I could have made so many videos yesterday. I could have done this. I could have spoke to these clients. And now I have to live my life with discipline. And I mean, there's blessing in discipline. It might be painful, but you know what you're working for. You have the end goal in mind. It's just day by day, do what you need to do. You're not going to lose 10 pounds in the next day. You got to eat healthy. That will get you to lose 10 pounds. Yeah. And that's what is really challenging me. I'm at this weight, but day by day, I'm going to start eating healthy. Day by day, I'm going to work on my debit, on my credit card. Day by day, I'm going to work on my finances. Day by day, I'm going to work in my relationship with God.
And it all starts with the question, which is what, Jonathan?
Would you rather live with the pain of discipline or the pain of regret?
I encourage you guys, if this podcast has made a difference for you, man, like, subscribe, put a comment down below. If you want to support the podcast, we have our Christian clothing brand that supports us with a 50% off coupon, guys. Go down there on the link in the bio, get it. It supports the channel so that we can constantly give you guys content like this and bring value to y'all's lives.
If our channel is bringing value to you, be sure to subscribe because we have a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers. So be part of that movement. So make sure you subscribe, like, comment in our videos, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified every single time we post.